Okay, so for the first one, 4 rods make it 4 rods over 1. Rods have to go on bottom, yards on top. What's the equivalency between yards and rods? 1 rod equals 5.5 yards. So the rods cancel out. 4 times 5.5 is 22 yards. 1 times 1 is 1, so it's just 22 yards. See that one, Doric?
Yeah, I should learn how to do that.
Okay, perfect. For the metric, the easiest way to do it is to simply have this little chart. Kilometers, hectometers, decameters, meters, decimeters, centimeters, and millimeters. What's that?
The third one you wrote.
Dam, yeah. As in blocking the water, not a cuss word.
Cool.
Millimeter to centimeter is 1 spot to the left. Which is 38. Meters to millimeters, 2 spots to the right. Or sorry, 3 spots to the right. I went to centimeters. Millimeters to meters to millimeters is 3 spots to the right. So decimal point has to go 1, 2, 3 spots to the right. So 270. Let's jump down to the kilometers. Kilometers to meters, 3 spots to the right. 1, 2, 3, 400 meters. So just moving the decimal point is really all it is. If you know, you could do 0.4 kilometers over 1, and you know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Cross cancel the kilometers. 0.4 times 1,000 is 400 meters. Works out the same. The 0.3 miles up here. 0.3 miles, 1. Miles will go on bottom, feet on top. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. Miles cross cancel. We got 1 on bottom. Oops. 0.3 times 5,280 is 1,584. Okay.
All right.
Something seems wrong there.
I got 100. I got 138 feet.
Yeah, we know that one's wrong.
Yeah, that was.
I'm just doubting myself most likely. It is 1584. That just looked wrong. Okay, for this joyful one here. 9 cubits. And if I tell you a cubit is 16 inches, I'm going to put cubits on bottom here. And the only equivalence I have is between cubits and inches. So I got to go to inches. 1 cubit is 16 inches. So the cubits have canceled out. I'm now in inches. That's not where I want to be. I want to be in feet. So what's the relationship between inches and feet? 1 foot is 12 inches. So now the inches are gone. Our units are feet. That's what we want. So on top, 9 times 16 is 144. Times 1 foot is 144 feet. Bottom, 1 times 1 times 12 is 12. You divide out. 144 divided by 12 is 12 feet. So 9 cubits is 12 feet. What do you think? Good stuff?
I can get the hang of it.
Yeah. Good. So today we're going to talk about operations with these units. Like if we have 8 feet 7 inches plus 5 feet 4 inches. Just like adding our whole numbers, we're going to start on the right and we'll work our way back to the left. So we start with and our place values are the units rather than place values. So we've got 7 inches and 4 inches make 11. Do I have to carry one? No, because on inches and feet I wouldn't carry until I hit 12. So now 8 feet and 5 feet make 13 feet. So it's 13 feet, 11 inches. Now, as we've seen, it does not stay that simple. So we're going to have 7 feet, 9 inches plus 5 feet, 8 inches. And we add 9 inches and 8 inches make 17 inches. But that is 1 foot and 5 inches. So we shall keep the 5 inches, carry the 1 foot. 1 and 8 makes, or 1 and 7 makes 8, plus 5, 13 feet, 5 inches. That's not so bad. We might have 5 yards, 2 feet, plus 8 yards, 2 feet. 4 foot, which is 1 yard and 1 foot left over, right? Perfect, 14 yards. Or we might have 7 rods, 4 yards, and 3 rods, 3 yards. So we add 4 plus 3 is 7 yards. How many yards does it take to make a rod? 5.5. So we've got 1 rod. Take out 5.5, we've got 1.5 yards left. So we're going to keep the 1.5 yards, and we're going to carry the rod. 1 and 7 and 3 makes 11 rods. So 11 rods, 1.5 yards. Not so bad?
Not so bad.
Good. Six feet 9 inches minus 4 feet 3 inches. We subtract. 9 minus 3 is 6 inches. 6 feet minus 4 feet, 2 foot. And again, just like adding, it doesn't stay that easy. Now we're going to borrow. Exactly. So here, 2 inches minus 11 inches can't be done. So yes, we borrow, make this 8 feet. What's this become? 14, because the 1 foot has 12 inches in it. We have to add 12. 14 minus 11, 3 inches. 8 feet minus 6, 2 foot 3 inches. So I might have 7 yards, 1 foot, minus 3 yards, 2 feet. 1 foot minus 2 foot. All right, so this is 6 yards, and this is now 4. 3 feet in the yard. Right?
Yards now.
Yep, 3 feet. So 3 plus 1 makes 4. 4 minus 2, 2 foot. 6 minus 3, 3 yards. Wondrous. Just for fun, we'll borrow. This is 7 rods, but 1 rod is how many yards? 5.5. So we add 5.5 to this to get 7.5. Subtract the 5, 2.5 yards. 7 minus 2, 5 rods. So you see the rod is a very ugly conversion because everything's at least a half. You know, there's no straight conversion with rods. Other than a rod is, I forgot the number right now. I can't remember if it's 220 or 320. It's 320 rods in a mile. That's a perfect.
How'd you get 16.5?
That was feet. 5280 is feet, and there's 16.5 feet in a rod. I could do it in yards too. There's 1,760 yards in a mile. Divided by 5.5, still be 320. when we talk about acres, an acre is 160 square rods. So the rod works out on miles and acres, but it doesn't work out with feet or yards. We'll talk about acres actually tomorrow. When we multiply, we don't deal with those dual units. If I tried to multiply something like 5 feet 3 inches times 2 feet 6 inches, I wouldn't leave it as dual units. I mean, I could, but remember when we talked about mixed numbers with fractions, you have to do this times that and that times that. So you're going to get square inches and square feet, but you're also going to get inch feet, which is a unit. It's 1 inch wide by 1 foot long, but it's not used for anything anymore. It's just kind of, all it does is makes it that we have to do a lot of converting at the end to make a neat, clean, usable answer. So generally, we'll either convert it all into inches. So 5 foot 3 inches, 5 times 12 is 60 plus 3, that's 63 inches. 12 inches in a foot. Yep. So 2 feet, 2 times 12 is plus 30 inches, yep. Yeah. So 63 times 30 is 1,890 square inches. Or I could change them all into feet. 5 foot 3 inches. Well, an inch is a twelfth of a foot, so that's 3/12 of a foot, or 5 1/4. 5.25 works as well. Yeah. 2 foot 6. Well, that's 2 6/12, or 2 1/2. And so yeah, we do 5.25 times 2.5. And get 13.125. Yeah, square feet. Now, I'm going to show you something. If I multiply this by 12, does that give me the square inches? Nowhere near it, right? Watch this stuff. I multiply by 12 again. It works out. Because this isn't inches and feet anymore. It's square inches and square feet. The conversion is going to change. That's something we're going to look at in tomorrow's class, is what is that conversion. But it's not 12 anymore because it's not feet and inches. It's square inches and square feet. Those are different units. We can, however, do... I'll look what that means. We can do a number times a measurement times a scalar. Like 4 feet, 7 inches times 6. So let's say we have pieces of material, brake line or whatever. We need to do a car, it takes 4 feet, 7 inches of brake line, and we need 6 of those. So what's the total length of copper tubing we need to get? Well, we would start out just like any other number. Now, first, some people will make this all into inches and reduce it down later, and that's fine if that's what you prefer to do. Then you do 6 times 7 is 42 inches, which is 3 feet. 3 feet, 3 times 12 is 36. So out of 42, there's 6 inches left over. Does that make sense? If you had to, you could do that as a division and remainder. 42 divided by 12 is 3. That's 36. There's 6 inches left over.
Sorry, this has gotten to the point where I need to.
Yep, that's fine.
7 foot.
Well, we're going to keep the 6 inches here. We're going to carry the 3 feet. But now before we add that 3 feet, we've got to do the 6 times the 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27 feet. 6 inches.
What if that was 6 inches?
Here or up here?
Like 6, yeah. If it was 6 inches.
Then you would have to change this all into inches.
Okay.
You don't want to, when you multiply, you don't want to use dual units.
Okay.
if you're doing two measurements. Again, this is a measurement times a counting number. That's called a scalar. When you're taking a measurement times a counting number, that's fine to leave it in dual units. But if it's two measurements, you don't want to leave it in dual units. So we might even have like 7 rods and 3 yards times 5. Well, 3 yards times 5 is 15 yards. 15 divided by 5.5 goes in there twice. That's 11. There's 4 left over. So that is 2 rods and 4 yards. So we keep the 4 yards and we carry the 2 rods. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 2 is 37 rods. 4 yards. And actually, before I do this example here, I'm going to show you a couple of things quick. When we divide, if I have like 12 feet divided by 3, I'm just dividing the numbers. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and I keep the feet. Because there's no label here, there's no name here to cancel out the feet, right? If I have 18 feet divided by 6 feet, 18 divided by 6 is 3, but feet divided by feet cancels out. That's just 3. The difference is here I have 12 feet of something. I'm cutting it into 3 equal pieces. Each piece is 4 feet long. Here I have 18 feet of something, and I need pieces that are 6 feet long. I can get 3 of those pieces. So the units cancel out. Now the third option is I could have, yeah, pretty much. I could have 15 square feet. Divide that by 3 feet. Well, 15 divided by 3 is 5. Square feet divided by feet is just feet.
Can I write that real quick?
Yep, go ahead. Basically what this last one is saying is if you need 15 square feet of some material and it's coming off a roll that's 3 feet wide, well then you need 5 feet of length to get 15 square feet of it. So then back over here, 37 feet 8 inches divided by 4. Now again, some people would convert that all into inches, divide it by 4, and then convert it back into feet and inches. But that can get kind of sloppy. Big numbers, and there's a lot of room. You're putting in a lot of extra operations, so that means extra chances for making a mistake. But we can just do 37 divided by 4 is 9 feet. Right? 9 feet times 4 is 36 feet. So there's 1 foot left over. Before I bring down the 8 inches, I have to turn that 1 foot into inches. Makes that 12 inches. Now I bring down the 8. 8 and 12 makes 20 inches. 20 inches divided by 4 is 5 inches. 5 times 4 is 20 inches. We're done.
I guess is that quicker than just converting it to inches at the start?
For me it is. But because to convert it into inches, you got to do 37 times 12, which is 444. Plus 8 is 452. Take that divided by 12, or by 4, because you're divided by 4 here. So 452 divided by 4 is going to be 113. Then you got to take 113 and convert it back into 9 feet 5 inches. So if you can handle this method, it's a little less work. It's a little bit more confusing until you've got it down, but it is less work. So let's say we have 30 feet and 4 inches, and we're dividing it into 7 equal pieces. 7 goes into 30 feet. 4 times. 4 times 7 is 28. So how many feet are left over? 2 feet. Before I can bring down the 4 inches, I need to make this 24 inches. Plus the 4 is 28 inches. And then 28 divided by 7 is 4, yeah. So 4 foot 8 inches. Now, it won't always work out perfectly like this. Like if this were 29 inches here, it'd be 4 1/7. You have to put the fraction in the inches because there's nothing else to carry. Does that make sense? So you have to put a decimal or a fraction. It's either 4 1/7 or 4.142857143 approximately. So out of your book. Oh, when we go to do metric, I should mention the metric. When we do operations with metric measurements, it's way simpler because we don't have this dual unit system. You know, in standard measurement, feet and inches, 8 feet 3 inches is very common. In the metric system, you'll never see them say 3 meters 27 centimeters. They just don't do it. It'll either be 3.27 meters or 327 centimeters. They're equivalent, and they only ever use one unit. And because they only ever use one unit, all that we have to do in the metric system is to make sure you have the same units to start with. So if you have 3.1 meters plus 150 centimeters, well, first thing we need to figure out is what do we want our answer in. If we want our answer in centimeters, well, then we're going to leave the 150. We're going to turn this into centimeters, which would be 310. So that's 460 centimeters. If we wanted our answer in meters, we would have left the 3.1 meters, change that to 1.5 meters, we get 4.6 meters. So the metric system is all a matter of what do you want your answer in and put it in that units first. And the adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing is just working with the numbers. There's no dual units to deal with. So out of your textbook, actually not out of your textbook, out of that packet that I gave you yesterday, on page 237, 13 through 24 deals with operations with standard units. Page 265, 15 through 22 deals with operations with metric units. So it's just the next section on each page of the packet.